I'm happy to chant whatever.
Okay. Would you like to start us off then, Elizabeth?
Sure.
Okay. And then who wants to do the next verse? Or do you...
I can do the second verse.
Wonderful, Lisa. Thank you. So Elizabeth's the first verse, then Lisa, and then who else would like to do something?
I can do any part of it.
Great. Would you like to do verses? So we've got 1, we've got 2. Why don't you do 3 and 4? Okay. And then verse number 5, are we up to the Guru Stotram, the Guru one?
Yeah, I'll do that one.
Okay, great. And anybody up for Krishna Macharya, or shall I do it again? I'll do Krishna Macharya. Okay, Caitlin, would you like to? Okay, all right, Caitlin will do Krishna Macharya. And Lauren, did you want to do any of the verses?
I don't think I can do the ones at the end though.
Okay, I'll do Desikachar. Would you like to do Sahanavavatu?
Sure.
Okay. Okay, that sounds good. Okay, now we have a plan. So Elizabeth, I guess you start.
Okay. Shuklam Bharadaram Vishnum Shashivarnan Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vighnopashantaye.
Yasya Viradavaktradya Parishadya Parashatam Vignan Nignandi Satatam Vishvaksenan Tamashraye.
Yananandamayan devam nirmalasphtika kritim adharan sarva vidyanam hayagrivamupas pundarikaasanasinam Pandurabhrendusannibham Akandabodhajanakam Hayagrivamupas
Gurupyastat Gurupyascha Namo Vakamadimahe Vrimahe Chatata. Let me do that part again. Vrimahe Chatatra Yao Dampati Jagatam Pati.
Shri Krishna Vagishayatishvarabhyam Samprapta Chakrankana Bhashya Saram Shri Narangendra Yattao Samarpitasvam Shri Krishna Maryam Guruvaryamide Virodhe Kartike Vase Shatatara Kritodayam Yogacharyam Krishna Maryam Guruvaryamaham Bhaje.
Shishyakam Krishna Maryasya Nathavam Shapradipakam Kalyana Gunarupantam Shri Deshikam Namam Yaham. Prashanta Purushakaram Viniyoga Pracharakam Vishesha Vaidikam Surim Tandeshikam Smaram Yaham Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha Harihi Om.
Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Punaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Mavid Vishavahai Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Thank you, everybody. What's coming along so well is the rhythm is staying. You know, everybody's coming in right in time, and the pace is lovely. It's a nice feeling. It's almost as good as if we were all in the same room chanting together. Maybe one day. So Shubhra ji sent us this group email saying that Navaratri is coming in 2 days on the 11th. When I looked it up, when I Googled Navaratri, what I saw was that it comes in October and November, but something's going on in 2 days. So I thought I would follow her lead. So I thought we would start off by paying our respects to Shiva and Parvati. Of course, yesterday being International Women's Day, we have to acknowledge Parvati and Lakshmi and Saraswati as well. So within the handout, did you all get that handout? These are, some of this is a repeat. Vagartha viva samprikta we've had before, and it is on a different handout, but I thought it would be nice to put it on this one. And what's lovely is that it salutes the masculine and the feminine powers within us. Whatever attributes we give to masculinity, and whatever attributes we give to femininity. Are acknowledged in this beautiful chant. And I've been taking on Vyas Houston's very simple melody. So it goes like this. Vagartha viva sampriktau Vagartha pratipattaye Jagata pitarao vande Parvati parameshvarao. So repeat after me. So I'll chant a section of the line and then we'll repeat it twice. So we will experience it 3 times. Vagartha vivasam priktau. Vagartha vivasam priktau. Vagartha vivasam priktau. Vagartha pratipattaye. Vagartha pratipattaye. Vagartha pratipattaye. Jagataha pitarao vande. Actually, I'm going to chant that differently. The Jagataha, I'm going to treat that Visarga as though I were blowing a feather. So it lands on the lips for Pitarao. P. Jagata Pitarao Vande. Jagata Pitarao Vande. Jagata Pitarao Vande. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Parvati Parameshvarao. Parvati Parameshvarao. Parvati Parameshvarao. So now let's chant it all together. Let's do that 3 times, but the whole thing 3 times. Om Vagartha vivasam priktau. Vagartha pratipattaye. Jagata pitarao vande. Parvati parameshvarao. Vagartha vivasam priktau. Vagartha pratipattaye. Jagata pitarao vande. Parvati parameshvarao. Vagartha vivasam priktau. Vagartha pratipattaye. Jagata pitarao vande. Parvati parameshvarao. Parvati parameshvarao. Would anyone like to chant this or any part of this verse?
I'll do it.
Okay, great.
Shall I start with Om? Yes, okay. Om Vagartha vivasam priktau. Vagartha pratipattaye. Jagata pitarau vande. Parvati parameshvarao.
That was absolutely beautiful. Thank you, Patty. Really nice. It had, did everyone notice it had a nice smooth flow to it? You've created a hard act to follow, but who would like? Let's pretend nobody chanted. Chant it like nobody chanted it before. Let's have someone else chant it as well.
I can do it.
Okay.
Vagartha viva sampriktau Vagartha pratipattaye Jagatah pitarau vande Parvati parameshwarau.
Also very beautiful. Thank you, Caitlin. Who else would like to do this? Oh, yay, Elizabeth.
Vagartha viva sampriktau Vagartha pratipattaye Jagatah pitarau vande Parvati parameshwarau.
So beautiful. Wow, brava. Would anyone else like to? Lisa, Lauren, Sandra?
I think I could do this one, maybe.
I think definitely, not maybe, definitely.
Om Vagartha Eva Sampraktau Vagartha Pratipattaye Jagatah Pitarau Vande Parvati Parameshwarau.
Sandra, brava, that was beautiful. Beautiful as well. All these renditions. It's just so nice to hear your voices. And the Sanskrit sounds really nice. I am longing to hear a group of voices in the same place. I really am. But this is beautiful.
I can do it.
Okay.
Vagartha viva sampriktau Vagartha pratipattaye Jagatah pitarau vande Parvati parameshwarau.
Brava. Very beautiful. So Lisa, you have to. You're the one left.
Om Vagata Viva Sampriktau Vagatha Pratipattaye Jagata Pitarau Vande Parvati Parameshwarau.
Beautiful. So beautiful. Wonderful. This is great. Everybody got a chance to do that, and you all did it beautifully. And I wonder, people sing in different languages, but I wonder if there's something about the Sanskrit that really, really brings out the beauty in every individual voice. V.S. Houston used to always say that, just discover the beauty of your own voice. And I used to think it was just a way to coax us into not being shy, but I think there's something to it. I think the Sanskrit language and those mouth positions bring out something beautiful in all of us. Well, the Maha Mrtyunjaya mantra. I have to let Elizabeth know we're not going to do it the way we learned it in Vedic chant class because I don't like it that way. I mean, I like it okay, but you know, it's a bit much. Now, I just want to clear something up. Some people think that it is appropriate to chant this chant at a funeral or in memoriam, and it's not. When someone passes away, the idea is to help that person move along into the next step, into the next realm, whatever that realm may be. And from what I've learned, the Maha Mrtyunjaya mantra is designed to keep people alive and well. And Shubraji tells us that it is appropriate to chant the Maha Mrtyunjaya mantra in hospitals and for people who are not well but need to get well, but not for someone for whom it seems it's their time to move on. So this is a wellness chant for all of us. And she says it is appropriate to chant it any time of night or day. And along with the Gayatri mantra, it is probably the second most popular chant in India, perhaps. I don't know, the Gayatri being the most popular one. Maha meaning great, Mri, M-R with a dot under it, Mri means to die. Mrtyunjaya means the conquering of death. And then mantra. And mantra itself, that word means that which protects the mind. Or a mantra is that which either protects our mind or it protects us from our own minds as we chant, because sometimes our minds can get in the way. It can be seen that way too. So a chant to protect ourselves for the great conquering of fear over death. So I'll give you a rendition. And I got it from Shubraji, and actually I learned it that way before her, but it seems to be a popular way of doing this. Om Trinyambakanya Jamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mritormukshiya Mamritat Triambakam, Triambakam, the three-eyed one, Triamba. Amba also can mean, Amba means mother. And in one translation, it also means father. So the parent, Triamba. But the three-eyed one refers to Shiva. Yajamahe, we worship you, we revere you. Yajamahe, Yaj. Sugandhim, Su, the Sugandhim, who is fragrant. Gandha is a word for the sense of smell, and Su means good or happy. So the sweet fragrance. Sugandhim Pushti, who nourishes. So push means to nourish, who nourishes us, and Vardhanam. Vardhanam comes from the root verb vrid, which means to expand, or who is all pervading. So we worship you, or we revere and honor you, O three-eyed one, who has a very sweet fragrance and who nourishes us and who is everywhere. Urvarukam Eva, Eva meaning like the Urvarukam, cucumber, bandhanan, from bondage or from being bound to the vine. So it has to do with when the cucumber is ripe, it is free to be released from the vine. Mrtyor mukshiya. So from death, mukshiya, liberate. Mukshiya ma mritat, liberate me from the awful thoughts of death, or liberate me from the feeling that I am nothing after I die, into the nectar of immortality, that indeed that soul moves on. So it's interesting that it has to do with death all over the place, but it is meant to keep us well and very much alive. Interesting dichotomy there. We worship Lord Shiva, the three-eyed one, who is fragrant and who nourishes all beings. May he liberate me from death for the sake of immortality, just as a ripe cucumber is severed from its bondage of the creeper. So I guess we'll do call and response for a bit. Om Triyambakam. Twice more. Om Triyambakam. Om Triyambakam. Yajamahe. 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 So let's put all of that together. Om Triyambakam Yajamahe. Om Triyambakam Yajamahe.
Leslie, can I, oh,
Yes.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
The question is, on Yajamahe, is that second syllable, the ja, is that long or?
Thank you for that. There's a mistake there. We should, and I will correct that afterwards, but that has to be a long ah. And if anyone can read the Devanagari, that is correct. The jaw is long there. Thank you, Elizabeth. That's what comes from rushing, hurrying to do this.
And
Hurry
not
up.
not having your reader available to prove that.
That's right. Thank you. That's good. Okay. Yajamahe. One last time. Oh, and also, Triyambakam. That's a tricky thing. Right off the bat, we are faced with something very tricky, because the Triyam has to be all one syllable, don't you know? I mean, just when we begin to get the hang of chanting and we think, oh, I can do this, then we're handed this thing. Triyam, Triyam. So it's not Triyam, but it's Triyam, which to me sounds like two syllables, but it's treated as one syllable. So Triyam Bakam. Now, kam will change to kain, so that nasal sound is going to be thrown back to the second mouth position, the soft palate, the soft palate, which is right before the throat, because of the ya in yajamahe. So that's why you hear me going Triyambakam Yajamahe. Can you hear that? So that's what it should be. And this is a Vedic chant. So it's all the more necessary to get these sounds as proper as possible. Om Triyambakam Yajamahe. And then we'll move on. Sugandhim. 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 Pushtivardhanam. Pushti Vardhanam. Pushti Vardhanam. So we'll take it from Sugandhim all the way to the end of the line. Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam. Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam. Now let's do that whole line. Om Triyambakanya Jamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam. Let's do it once more. Om Triyambakanya Jamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam. Moving on to the next line. Urvarukamiva. 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 Bandhanan. 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 A word about bandhanan. Bandhanan, originally, a change has been made because of the nasal sound following, mrityor. That word, just for anyone who might be studying the Sanskrit vocabulary and grammar, bandhanat is the real word, bandhanat, which then means from bondage, bandhanat. But then because bandhanat is followed by mrityor, mri, that's a nasal sound. So the ta changes to the dental na at the end of bandhanan. So that a nasal sound just allows us to move right into the next nasal sound. Urvarukamiva bandhanan mrityor. Let's do that twice. Urvarukamiva bandhanan mrityor. Urvarukamiva bandhanan mrityor. Excuse me. Mukshiyamamritat. 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 Now that whole mouthful of a second line, we'll do that 3 times after my sip of water. Urvarukamiva bandhanan mrityor mukshiyamamritat. Urvarukamiva bandhanan mrityor mukshiyamamritat. Urvarukamiva bandhanan mrityor mukshiyamamritat. Mukshiyamamritat. So now let's try the whole thing all together. Twice through. Om Triyambakam yajamahe Sugandhim pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva bandhanan mrityor mukshiyamamritat. Om Triyambakam yajamahe Sugandhim pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva bandhanan mrityor mukshiyamamritat. Would anyone like to chant any of that or all of that?
Could you just do it one more time all the way through, Leslie?
Sure, and pardon me because my voice has been cracking. This is not an easy chant, is it? Om Triyambakam yajamahe Sugandhim pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva bandhanan mrityor mukshiya mamritat. So the way I learned it, if we have to take breaths, then for example, the second line, Urvarukamiva bandhanat, I often need to take a breath after that, in which case we would change bandhanan back to bandhanat, because there's no reason to change that if we're taking a breath, because then we're starting all over again. Urvarukamiva bandhanat, breath. Mrityor mukshiyamamritat. So the faster we go, the easier it is to do it all in one breath. I'm not so sure if I can, but let's take that second line faster and see if we can do it all in one breath. Here we go. Excuse me, false beginning. Here we go. I'll start with an Om so we all know. Om Urvarukamiva bandhanan mrityor mukshiyamamritat. I have to do it that fast.
Leslie, just a quick question. Could you actually, if you did it all in one breath, could you pause after mrityor because it's a long O? The O is a long vowel.
We can, yes, we can, and I often do. That would be the place. In which case, if we follow the same rule, we really should do mrityoho mukshiya, but I've never heard that done. So we'll keep the R.
Okay.
But we could. And in the, haven't you heard Deborah and Sonia at some point, when it gets to be really challenging, they'll say, just take a breath when you need to. Don't worry about it. I mean, there are rules, but then we, it's tough to get it all. This is quite a mouthful. All in the interest of maintaining and acquiring good health. Would anyone like to chant any part of it? Or is there anything you'd like to go over?
I have a question about the word mukshya.
Yes.
I think in the Devanagari it's a sha, like a palatal sha, and then in the transliteration it's the sha in the third mouth position.
Mukshiya.
Yeah. Am I reading that wrong? It seems like they say different things.
Mukshi. No, that symbol you see is the ksha symbol.
Right.
And you have the long E, which is there.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe
So then the transliteration is wrong.
no, it's correct. Because it's a third mouth position sha. There should be a dot under the S in mukshiya.
Okay.
And I will look that up later just to be sure. I think moksha, because moksha, that's a third mouth position moksha sound with the sibilant. What is your understanding of this?
I guess I'm just reading the letter wrong. I thought that letter in Devanagari was the second mouth position with a ka and a sha.
Oh, no, no. And I don't think I've ever seen it. I mean, it could happen. Mukshiya. But the symbol you're seeing really represents the third mouth position, sha, ksha, the ka.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah. Thank you for your sharp eyes. I'm so glad you can read both because it's really good because, I often do make mistakes. This is really helpful. Is there any part of this that anyone would like to go over? Do you all feel healthier? Let's go to the second page then. I was feeling spring today. I was so happy that it's warmer here because yesterday was really tough. It gets to the point in March where the sun is out shining brilliantly and the temperature can still be so cold. And it's just sometimes, and I think because a part of me is expecting it to be warm when I go outside and it's not. But anyway, I was feeling, I don't know, when I got that email from Shubraji reminding us of Shiva, it just all felt joyful to me. And this is a chant that Elizabeth and I have learned in Vedic chant session, and it's a repetition of salutation to Shiva with Shiva's various names. So it sounds like this. Om Namastaraya Namashambhave Chamayo Bhave Cha Namashankaraya Cha Mayaskaraya Cha Namashivaya Cha Shivataraya Cha. So that's the whole chant. But if we move to the krama, we can break this down. So I propose that we chant individual phrases in the krama. So Namastaraya. So Tara must be a name for Shiva. For Aya is the end of a noun, which means to, it's the dative case to, or it's the dative case meaning to someone. So Taraya means to Tara. Salutation to Tara. and then tutaya, salutation. So moving to the krama, repeat after me. Om Namastaraya. Om Namastaraya. And then the next phrase, Taraya Namaha. Taraya Namaha. Now let's put those two phrases together. Om Namastaraya. Taraya Namaha. Om Namastaraya. Taraya Namaha. Moving on to the third one. Namah Shambhave. Namah Shambhave. Namah Shambhave. So a word on that double sh sound in the middle of that phrase, that third phrase. We land on the first sh, and here's our second mouth position. Sh. Namah Shambhave. And do you notice why on ve we begin at the middle note and then we go up? The reason is because we are told by the printout that there's a double danda over the letter E, which tells us to begin in the middle note and then slide up as we're still chanting that syllable. Shambhave. Let's all do that together from Sham. Shambhave. So, and then in the sha, it's like we land on the first sha and we take off on the second sha. Namah Shambhave. Namah Shambhave. Namah Shambhave. Namah Shambhave. Shambhave cha. Shambhave cha. Shambhave cha. Let's see if we can put that all together. Excuse me. Sorry. Actually, sorry, I caught something. Elizabeth, could you lead us in that whole first line? Those first four padas?
Om Namastaraya. Taraya Namaha. Namah Shambhave. Shambhave cha.
Good, do it again and maybe to pick up the pace a little bit. That was beautiful.
Om Namastaraya. Taraya Namaha. Namah Shambhave. Shambhave cha.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. It was nice and clear. Shambhavecha. Okay, so now one more time, everybody. And Elizabeth, would you mind doing it one last time and just do
Okay.
it twice through so that we all get comfortable with it?
Om Namastaraya Taraya Namaha Namah Shambhave Shambhave cha. Om Namastaraya Taraya Namaha Namah Shambhave Shambhave cha.
Thank you. Wonderful. Now, everyone, let's see if we can put that together. So on the top, under Sanghita, Om Namastaraya Namah Shambhave Cha. Just that, just what we did when we broke it down. So only through the cha after some Shambhave. So here's how it goes. Hopefully I won't cough and come on, Lord Shiva, make me well. Okay. Om Namastaraya Namah Shambhave cha. Whoops. Oh, that's as far as we got. Okay. Again. Om Namastaraya Namah Shambhave cha. Okay. Are you all following? Good. Okay. Now we're going to leave Lord Shiva and we're going to our guru. And would someone kindly lead us in the last Tvameva Mata Chapita Tvameva? Who would like to chant and lead us in that? Okay. Bye, Lauren. Thank you so much. It's wonderful to see you again. And hello to the kitty cats.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Do
I
we
don't know.
have a volunteer?
I don't know yet the melody that Shubraji does, but I can do it with a different one.
I think that would be great. Yeah, it's good. And it's wonderful to hear it in different ways. It evokes some similar things and yet different melodies bring out different things as well. So please do the one that you're most comfortable with.
Tvameva mata chapita tvameva tvameva bandhuscha sakha tvameva tvameva vidya dravirnam tvameva tvameva sarvam Mama Deva Deva.
That was beautiful. Thank you so much. Would anyone else like to lead us in that? It was really nice, Caitlin. We'll do our closing chants then. Would anyone like to offer that up?
I'll do Kayena Vacha.
Okay. I'll start us off with the one that begins. Yadaksharapadabrashtam matrahinantu yadbhavet tatsarvam kshamyatan deva Narayana namostute Shrimate Narayanaya namo namaha.
Kayena Vacha Manasendriyarva Buddhyatmanava Prakrite Svabhavat Karomi Yadyat Sakalam Parasmai Narayanayeti Samarpayami Sarvam Shri Krishnarpanamastu. Leslie, you're muted.
Thank you. That came out so easily and beautifully. Thank you very much. Well, Tony says we have to have an early dinner because we're washing the spaniel this evening and he's very dirty.